we welcome in Mark Durrant. And I give you that basketball information and set it up that way. But, Mark, I know you're a huge BYU football fan as well. So I feel like it's only appropriate on this day, even though you're a basketball expert and savant, that we go with the football question. And that is, what are you looking forward to most or looking for most when that Big 12 football schedule is released in a little under 2 hours?
Hey, listen, it's exciting day. I've been looking forward to this for a long time, like most BYU fans. It's been a long time coming, and I just want to see, guys, BYU's name on the board. I still think we're kind of being punked at this point. I want to see BYU actually scheduled, and then I know it's real, and then I'll be happy. But whatever. I mean, it would be fun to get Oklahoma in here because they won't be around. We've had Texas here, but it sounds like that might not happen. But whatever. I mean, I just want to see BYU's name up there. That's all I care about.
Hey, if anybody sees Ashton Kutcher anywhere near this Big 12 schedule release, we need something's up. We don't need to be punked on this. So would it be safe to say? So are you, I don't want to put words in your mouth. I would assume it's basketball, but are you more excited about the football schedule release or whenever the basketball schedule is released?
Well, listen, I know football is where BYU's bread is buttered and historically, and I get it. I love BYU football, but as far as conference goes, the Big 12 is a great basketball conference, the best conference in the country, and has historic programs and the best teams in the country right now. So, of course, I'm excited because I want to go in some of these venues that I've only seen on TV, and I'm so personally for me, the Big 12 basketball is cooler and more important. But I certainly get the excitement about football, and I know that's where kind of the excitement often lies with BYU fans. But I'm just excited about going into some of these basketball venues, and we get so excited for Gonzaga in that game, and even St. Mary's. But in the Big 12, it's you got 10 or 11 of those types of games, and it's going to be really cool.
Mark, I get it. I just think about, what will Fog Allen Fieldhouse be like when BYU rolls in to take on the Kansas Jayhawks? That is such an exciting thought for everybody across the BYU sports community. It's also a terrifying thought because it feels like every Big 12 basketball team is on par with Gonzaga and St. Mary's. It's one of those two teams every night in the Big 12 is currently constituted. With that in mind, it's still about the West Coast Conference right now, and BYU's coming off another heartbreaking loss to one of those elite-level teams in the WCC. Which one of those losses is more difficult for you to stomach? The Gonzaga letdown over the final minute, or that last-second dagger once again from Aiden Mahaney and St. Mary's?
Oh man, fellas, it's been brutal. I mean, maybe you get one of those heartbreakers in a year, but the two of them on your home court against those teams, that's rough. I'd say Gonzaga. I think it's like being in the ring with Mike Tyson, and that the first hit was Gonzaga. And after that hit, you don't really remember a whole lot. You just keep getting hit, but you're not really cognizant of what's happening. And so the Gonzaga one really staggered me. I mean, that was really hard and also I think that game was a game that really BYU was in control. I mean, they had it. Just take care of the basketball, make your free throws, and you don't lose that game. St. Mary's, it was kind of going back and forth there, and either team had a really good chance to win that. But listen, it's tough, and to have those opportunities and be in a position to win and play so well. I mean, BYU, say what you want about this season, but in those two games, they played great basketball, and I just felt really bad for those guys to have that opportunity and just have it be snatched away in those situations. Listen, basketball is a fickle mistress, and it's crazy how a season even can turn on the slightest things. And if you win those two games, you're towards the top of the conference, and you're looking at an NIT bid, and everything's great in Zion, right? But two shots go in that are tough shots, and it's a whole different world for you, right?
Yeah.
And so it's tough, man. It's really hard to bounce back from that. And we'll see how this team does.
Travis Hanson was on the program yesterday, and he said he actually feels like BYU basketball has overachieved this year. What do you make of those comments? Do you agree?
Well, I always agree with Travis Hanson because he knows what he's talking about and is an all-timer and is just one of the best guys out there. I mean, he's just a fantastic individual, and I would generally agree. I look at this team, and I've seen a lot of teams, and I think most BYU fans can look at a team and know kind of about how they're made up, you know, whether they're playing to their potential, how hard they're playing. And I think this team does play hard. I mean, if you play, look at what they did with St. Mary's. St. Mary's is the #1 defensive rebounding team in the country and one of the top rebounding teams altogether in the country.
Yeah.
BYU puts on the floor Husseini Traore, who's 6'7", Traden Christensen, who's 6'6", and St. Mary's has one 7-footer after another, and they're big all the way around. And BYU out-rebounds them on the offensive boards. That doesn't happen unless you are ferocious in your effort. And so I think they are playing hard. And part of the problem is, you know, you mentioned Travis Hanson. Part of the problem is BYU doesn't have a Travis Hanson or an Alex Barcelo or kind of a star to lead their team and go and get them 20, 25 points a night. So it's more by committee, and I just don't think they have, and I don't want to say talent because you have talented guys, but they don't have a superstar. They don't have a lot of things that where you would expect, you know, when you're looking at a great team, you see those Travis Hansons, you see those guys. So to that extent, I think they are overperforming. They're in games. They don't ever get blown out. They have a chance in the games, but they're falling short because they just don't have enough offensive. Because Travis Hanson, when he was there in the last 2 minutes of the game, Travis Hanson would get you a bucket.
Yes.
And I don't know that they really have that guy. And so then the question is, well, you know, you got to recruit those guys. And if you want to be critical of Mark Pope, maybe you say you need to bring in better players so you're not having to overperform. But I think with this team, and I'm not saying they're bad, I think they got great players and they're doing really well in a lot of ways. But I think this team is playing pretty close to their potential. Now, I'd like to see more consistency, and I'd like to see more consistency of effort on the road, like at San Francisco and Santa Clara. But overall, I think they are playing well, and they are getting a lot out of what they have. And but I think there's room for improvement, and they can finish strong and do some good things.
Great insight from Mark Durrant, who joins us on BYU Sports Nation. And Mark, you're right. And I've been trying to think about the last time BYU didn't have an alpha that you want to have the ball with under 2 minutes to play. You got to go back a long time, maybe to Steve Cleveland's final year in 04-05 when BYU did struggle. Because after that, they always had somebody. They had Keena Young, and they had Jimmer Fredette, Jonathan Tavernari, Tyler Haws, Brandon Davies, Kyle Collinsworth, Chase Fisher, Yoli Childs, TJ Haws, Jake Toolson, Alex Barcelo. There's always been at least one. So how do you overcome that? And what's the ceiling for a team that doesn't have that guy?
Yeah, I mean, that's really the question, is how you can overcome that. Well, you know, the effort I talked about will keep you in games. And rebounding, you know, defense and rebounding has kept BYU in games to cover some of the deficiencies we're talking about. You don't need to have a superstar to play good defense. You don't need to have a superstar to rebound. So I think the thing they need to really focus on now is really, because they're going to be in games, right? And what you want is to get the 1-point win rather than the 1-point loss. And so what is it? Well, value the basketball, take care of the basketball. BYU had a critical late turnover against St. Mary's. Obviously, some terrible turnovers against Gonzaga. Missed free throws against St. Mary's and Gonzaga. I mean, those are two things that you can work on and try and get better at, and then maybe you win by one instead of lose by one. It's not like there's a big gulf for them. But it's the real challenge now, guys. Right, will be BYU's gone about 3 weeks with a single win at home and 2 just absolutely devastating losses. So when you're a player and a coach and you've gone 3 weeks without really winning a game, that is pure misery and torture. And how does the locker room stand up under that kind of pressure? You had a few guys miss a game because they broke team rules. Can they just hold it together? Because if they hold it together and play hard, they're in games. But I worry that this prolonged stretch of heartbreak and disappointment and losing games, eventually that's going to get to a team. So I'm curious to see how they'll play this week.
Mark, we appreciate the time as always, talking football and basketball. Huge contest for the Cougars when they take on a team on the rise. It just won at Gonzaga, LMU, on Thursday. I know you're looking forward to that one. We can't wait to hear the call, man.
Yeah, my favorite player in college basketball, Leo Pepe. I mean, he looks like a giant Jason Shepard with a mullet. I mean, this guy is something. But
I gotta go see if I can find one of those. Yeah, find one of those wigs and wear it.
Leia Shepard.
Yeah.
But listen, I love being on with you guys, and I love being on TV. I think it's a real travesty that Gregory Bell and myself, as handsome as we are, have to be on the radio. I mean, I think that's just terrible for the fans, but that's the way it goes.
Let's get you a video blog going, man.
Let's do it.
We can make that happen. Hey, Mark, great to talk to you. Take care.
We do. Hey, I love you guys. Thanks for having me. We'll see you.
Thanks, Mark. Talk to you Thursday.